The Empire of Obsidonia, a nation ruled by a prideful, world-renowned lineage of lions. Lair relics excavated here aren't limited to weapon materials. War strategy manuals, alchemy recipes, and various other strategic resources have been found. Collaboration with the zealous artisans of Sepia to pursue higher prosperity, they launched numerous invasions which sent shockwaves all over the world of El Dorado. Alas, this is all the past, as the closest empire to Dragon King Isle, the arrival of the dark clouds of dust together with insurgents by magical beasts led the empire on a path of sharp decline. Rivalry between the imperial court and the armed forces became even more complicated by the sudden death of the former emperor. In his place, his young cub, whose mane has yet to ever grow out, has ascended to the throne. The once prosperous palace is now a pandemonium, plagued by power struggles. The young lion emperor awakes with the sun shining on his face while still in his large bed with the warmth of two people remaining. Is it already morning? The moon! How can this be? You were already awake when this happened. Oh, hi. Yes, when I had awoken, the moon was already. If only you had woken me up. No. Rest is of utmost importance, Master. I'm not just your master. Our relationship is more than that, is it not? I apologize for my lack of consideration. It's fine. Anyway, I wish to stay like this for now. Emperor, allow me to inform you that I shall be leaving Obsidonia at sunrise to depart for Dragon King Isle on an invasion expedition. Why? Why did all of this happen while I was asleep? Has it been a moment since the clouds disappeared? No, I actually didn't witness the moon set, but it must have just happened. I haven't authorized this operation. What in El Dorado are the armed forces doing? Don't tell me this is a direct order from Admiral Gordov. Most likely. I am the Emperor. I resign this order henceforth. Why should you, our cavalry commander, be sent on a naval expedition when defending our homeland ought to come first? Emperor, please remain calm. If I may be frank, I don't believe that would be wise. Why must even you be at odds with me? Do you not find any of this strange? Of course I do. That's all the more reason why I'm saying this. Everything is so sudden, yet also seemingly premeditated. Everyone in the infantry and artillery brigades are itching to restore the glory of the Empire by invading Dragon King Isle. What of this glory? Why? Why can't I do anything about the situation? The young emperor's face is fraught with anger, unease, and chagrin. Kafka looks up at a portrait hung in his bedroom. The man displayed is none other than his father, the former emperor. His prideful, glossy black hair and his eyes beaming with confidence. It's as if his massive frame is still towering over him. How could Kafka ever compare? His slender arms can't even swing a sword. Lacking the courage to face dejection, he has been destined to his stacks of books. Who the hell am I? Somehow or another, Kafka has made it this far without ever having it in him to ask this question to a sole loyal retainer. Father! Please be on alert. A formidable plot is already in motion. So, does that mean you've come to say goodbye to me? I was once a slave fighter, who became an imperial soldier thanks to the late Emperor's impartial treatment of me. To hell with your depth of gratitude. You're just going to accept all of this just like that? The small Emperor wraps his arms around the fighter's wide chest, feeling that solace of warmth he so desires in what little time remained. Kafka digs his cheeks into his large, firm chest. In return, Helion pats his small, delicate back. The bechambered Helion finds himself sharing with Kafka is totally unfit for him. I don't want us to be apart. Helion! Our destiny shall never be the same. You are Emperor Kafka, and I am merely a soldier serving you and the Empire. I see. If that is how you feel, then as your master, Emperor of this land, I command you! The strained voice of the young Emperor reverberates in his bedchamber as he issues an imperial edict to the man he has spent countless nights with. The point to their relationship, held together only by Edic, remains a conundrum. As master, is that really the only reason? The bond between these two truly is defying their dark and gloomy destinies, or at least that's what the Black Lion wants to believe. Just when we've seen the sun after all this time, I just wish I could stay asleep. Oh? More? What? Impossible. The clouds. It's an absolute miracle. Who? At the rundown Coliseum of the Empire of Obsidonia. The spectator seats have been sparsely occupied for years, left in disrepair. It is overwhelmingly unsettling to all who entered due to how unsanitary it has become. That was once where distinguished warriors would hone their skills and put their honor on the line. Today, however, all there is to be seen is disgraceful, brutal bloodshed. Oh, it's Rogaru and Basker! Oh my goodness! Wow! Whoa! A full moon! Huh? Wow! There really is one! Rogaru screams out in astonishment whilst in the midst of a serious match with Basker. Basker, wielder of flaming fists, versus Rogaru, the Spice Blade Master. This is the match of the evening everyone has been waiting for. Time out! Time out! Judges, you're looking at the sky too! Whatever, I'll withdraw from this match. Sorry everyone, I'm really sorry for this. Hey, Rogaru, why are you wearing a hood? Don't escape. Running from a match will get you killed. Come on, you're asking me to look up too? You all want me to state that the moon's pretty. But I don't think so at all. Basker, my stomach hurts. I gotta leave now. Don't search for me. The two were shouting at the top of their lungs, hoping that their voices would be heard through the loud commotion of the spacious arena. Basker was particularly in a pinch, as it is not his cup of tea to be punished for someone else's dereliction of duty. Ultimately, however, not even the judges, much less the spectators, appeared to give them any attention. Everyone present was oblivious to how the match had suddenly become interrupted. Fighters bet their lives as their occupations. The spectators merely have a ravenous appetite for amusement. It's only natural that the disappearance of the clouds, which brought down the Empire, would draw the crowd's attention away from the typical brawl. With Basker still dumbfounded, a flood of fighters, all of whom were being held in the back, rushes into the arena to have their own opportunity to look up at the clear sky. Wait, Rogaru, hold up! Move, damn it, move! I said move already! It doesn't have to be a restroom. I just gotta go somewhere. Well, I guess this is no time for a match, huh? With the moon being so beautiful. Alright, I suppose I should run off too. My body's so warm. God, I'm so dumb. What a relief though. I'm sorry, Basker, but I never intended to cheat my way through as a gladiator by hiding my immortality. Don't look at me. Salutations! My name is Drunker, and today we are back with another episode of another Eidos of Dragon Vaynar. That is right. Oh my goodness, let me lower that to 4.0 because I just recorded Crave Saga and it was actually really loud, so oh my goodness. Anyways, today we are going to be reading Chapter 2, Another Eidos, Decadence and Glory, the Empire of Obsidonia. That's right. So, last episode, we solved the slime crisis, and apparently the Emperor of Obsidonia came in the room where Gaia and Barboros were having their little moment. And my goodness, something happened. Apparently he's tired, so we're gonna follow up on that in Chapter 2, Another Eidos. So, I actually have read this story before, but I think this might be the considering that chapter 3 beyond to chapter 7 are kind of well recorded, I'm not going to. I think I'll check out the footage whether I can like use that or not, because the mic quality for the past one actually did decrease as soon as I started like filming other games. So yeah, because I had an old mic and I replaced it back in December, so I don't know if this is any better, by the way. It is certainly easier to edit, but yeah, and the voice is a lot clearer, but yeah. So anyway, we're gonna be doing the Border Stronghold story and then the Forest of Death story today. I thought I was originally gonna make this 3 parts, but not gonna lie, that doesn't really work with stories like the old stories, because some of them are like really short. So yeah. So anyway, so let's just see what happens, okay? Let us proceed to waking up from a nightmare. Alright. Chapter 2, another Eidos. Oh my god, look at the place. Helion. Ooh. The unfamiliar ceiling above Emperor Kafka is adorned very differently from the ones back in Obsidonia. He jolts awake, covered in cold sweat from his nightmare. Emperor Kafka, are you alright? Oh my god, this is already loud. Who are you? I am a healer who happened to be passing by. Please pay me no heed. Oh, the little emperor woke up. Lord Jinosuke, I ask that you compose yourself so as to not impinge upon the emperor's well-being. Oh hey now, how about you show a little more thanks to cute Elaine here for nursing him this whole time. I am thankful for your care. I would love to offer you my warmest thanks, but right now, I'm unfortunately... You are completely fine. That won't be necessary. Elaine, how is Emperor Kafka's doing? Ah, great. He's okay. Indeed. All thanks to you all. I am deeply grateful. Why though would the Emperor of Obsidonia be here? I tried asking Jinosuke, but he wouldn't give me a straight answer. Oh ho! Well, I did say I'd tell you if you won in a sumo match with me. How could I possibly win? You're insanely strong, and I know you'll just want to touch all over. Kun's body is already covered in fresh scraps and bruises from being flipped by Jinosuke in a sumo match in the courtyard. What do we have here? It would appear that you've become quite close with the Divine Dragon. Well, I have a thing for that pervy smell the Divine Dragon gives off. Easy for you to say, you're the one who needs a bath. Indeed, on that point, I really do agree with you. Hammer that point into him, please. Well, you have to tell me that yourself then. That's how our particular brand of Yamato virtue works. I don't know what that means, but okay. I would like to ask that my dear retainer Helion, who remains trapped in my empire, be rescued. The day the dark clouds of dust disappeared, Helion secretly took me along on an expedition to Dragon King Isle under my command. That same day, our capital fell into a coup d'etat orchestrated by Admiral Gordov, commander of the armed forces. Oh, would an empire really collapse so easily just because the emperor goes missing? Well, it's only a matter of time that the yokai of Yamato will cause an insurrection during Lord Jinosuke's absence. We would never let that happen. Rasha will do something about it, I'm sure. I believe the coup was thoroughly calculated. The imperial family of Obsidonia has always dealt with intense fights over power. Helia and I were betrayed by our own forces under Admiral Gordov's control and were forced to act independently. When we became cornered by both Admiral Gordov's forces and the Holy Sorcerer Corps of Amberdon, Helion had me escape so he could fight alone as our anchor. That happened then? While escaping, I encountered Shogun Jinosuke and his retainers, who I had guard me to the capital of Pays Blanc. Helion is being imprisoned for the crime of abducting me, and rumor has it that he will be executed soon. Although that may just be a trap to lure me back. With that being said, I am a man who cherishes bonds. Helion is both a retainer of mine and my lover. Sir Kun, I had heard of you on Dragon King Isle, how you partook of the Dragon King's blood. I've also heard that you are responsible for ending the turmoil that just plagued the capital Pays Blanc. I just know that actually, all I have to turn to is you. Huh? You can't just bring this up so suddenly. I beg you, please. Leave it to an empire is too weak to even protect his mate. I mean, I really want to help out, but... feigning to be a hero cause you saved the capital, huh? Quit that while you're ahead. No, that's not what I mean. It's just, if I could... What if I get captured? What if you get captured, Ball? Should I do should I do both options? I'll do both options after this. That would be impossible. I would get you back even if it meant destroying the world. That's what I'm getting at. Alright, so what happens if we choose what if you got captured, Ball? What if you got captured just like Helion, Ball? I'd be on the brink. I'm sure you would. Whatever, do as you please. All you do is continue drag me into trouble when I turn your idea down. Getting involved in another man's love quest will surely feel foolish before long, but it could also help you find the resolve to become a full-fledged dragon. Alright then. I'm not sure what all I'll be able to accomplish, but I'll do whatever I can to help you. Thank you. I'm forever in your debt. First though, I'll need to discuss this with King Equus. How would we even get to Obsidonia? I doubt we have any formal relations. Crossing the sea would mean running into that pervert from Atlantis. Our Empire and the Federation have a long history of warfare, but we are currently in a state of Cold War. I'm not sure what King Equus would have to say about this. You know what? It'll be fine. My father's still the Minister of Finance. Plus, I recently got on the good terms with His Majesty himself. I'm sure it'll go over well. I might as well tag along just to keep our little Emperor from worrying. This will be my first time meeting with the King of the Federation. Hey, Lord Jinosuke, this is your chance to land a punch. Try not to say anything too reckless. That could affect Yamato's relations with the Federation. Hey Kun, is it alright if I come? Of course! Wow. This chapter is called Dragon Vein Assembly. In the early afternoon in the castle in Pays Blanc, despite the remaining damage from the recent slime commotion, the throne room has become a hive of activity. Oh! Wow! Everyone in the kingdom must be here! If Elaine's going, I can't help but want to go. I'm only here because I have heard that Barbaros would be here. Oh my goodness, he's still having his crush on Alec, I mean. I am so delighted to see this place thriving. I had always wanted to engage in direct dialogue with the leaders of each nation once the dark clouds of dust cleared away. You are the Princess of Amberdon? Indeed. I am not, however, a representative of Amberdon. I am now just another adventurer. The situation with my father is, just to be clear, we're not representatives either. That's correct. We're just members of the Yamato Secret Service passing by. Unfortunately, I don't know a single thing about the politics in Yamato. Lord Jinosuke, this concerns the reputation of Yamato, so please conduct yourself properly. Well then, as head of the Federation, I welcome all of you here today. I have heard about the situation you now face. Let me just check if my mic is working and the audio not being too loud. Golly, I think I really have to edit it. Though a cold war ensues between us and the Empire, I would like to forge a path to peace. As for the Emperor's request, I shall do whatever that is in my power to be of assistance. So you believe me. I am grateful. Although the question remains as to how to rescue Helion from your empire's territory. While I can support you from behind the scenes, I cannot deploy any troops. It is also unrealistic to assume we can persuade Admiral Gordov or the armed forces, knowing that they orchestrated a coup d'etat. The only course of action available is to go and rescue him directly. I'll go. Really? What? You got a problem? No, it's just not like you to say something like that. Why do you care? It's not a big deal. Even so, I have to pass this one. I won't want to make Dad cry again. Alec! I'm kidding. It'll only make it harder for you to set off. Leave the rebuilding of our home to me, and you go on. Brother. No big deal. We'll just have to snatch this Helion guy and come back here. I would like to go with Kun. What? Elaine too? In that case, I'll need to also... Oh. Wait, I guess I really ought to stay. He has a point, Elaine. There's no need for you to put yourself in harm's way. It's just I can't help but feel this might have something to do with the Shadow Kings of Sinful Desire I read about in our people's Book of Revelations. I wish this was a more prominent thing, but oh well. It's fine. Won't you also need a sure-handed healer? I guess you're right. Stellan, you too must assist the restoration project. You mean I'll be working with Alec? Are you absolutely sure? Prepare proper bedding for me and my mates. I'll be returning shortly. Should I give him the same voice as Excalibur? I'm not gonna lie, it's way too late for me to give Barboros a voice. I think I'll just give him the same voice as Excalibur just to not, you know, complicate myself. I'll always follow you wherever you go, Lord Barboros. You won't have to come this time. What? However, if this is all a ploy by the orchestrators of the coup d'etat to trap us, traveling by sea would be too risky. If we get caught, we won't be able to escape. I agree. I don't want to deal with that fishy god of the sea either. So, that only leaves traveling by land. I could send a message to our Stronghold's garrison myself, but I highly doubt they would allow the Emperor, Dragon King, or Kun to pass without fuss. With so many difficulties lying ahead, things aren't looking too promising for the group. At that moment, Echoes appears to remember something. About Gymnos of the Order of Glory should be found at the abbey near our border's stronghold. The Order of Glory is a prominent religion in El Dorado, having a following since olden times. About Gymnos, so he was able to escape the capital. Oh, so you know him. This has never been made public, but entry into the country for religious purposes is allowed. I am sure he would help us on our way to the capital. If it's Gymnos we're talking about, then I can trust him. He served me and the Imperial family quite well. Then it's decided. Yes, and also, Samurai Shogun of Yamato, King Jinosuke, what brought you to Dragon King Isle? What, me? Well, it's obvious. I just wanted to see which samurai cleared away the dark clouds of dusk. During our sea voyage, I thought we'd never make it. I did ultimately meet the samurai as well as the Dragon King. I couldn't be more satisfied. Anyway, I suppose repaying a debt to the Emperor isn't such a bad idea, which is why I'll also be tagging along. Oh, Lord Jinosuke, I love how you think. I'd usually take a bath though. Don't come or get near me or Kun. You reek of deception. Ooh. You don't gotta be so cruel. Kun and I are already so lovey-dovey. He's such a swell dragon, you know. What the hell do you mean lovey-dovey? We only had a little sumo match. We got even more impressive sumo matches in Yamato. Piques your interest, don't it? Not one bit. Well, well. We won't be a nuisance, assuredly. We'll humbly insist that we may accompany the Dragon King and the Divine Dragon. Divine Dragon? That seems a bit too much. What are you talking about? Our selfie's blowing up on YokaiNet. Yamato's the land of myriad gods. We must celebrate your rebirth as a Divine Dragon for you having partaken of the blood of the Dragon King. See that right there? Oh my god. Oh, hold on. Let me remember what Excalibur's voice is. Master. See that right there? There are those out there who welcome me along with you as my mate. Why don't you become a full-fledged divine dragon to meet what they expect of you? I promise you, it won't be bad at all. I'm telling you, I'm not cut out for it. Well now, I still like you just the way you are, Kun. I wish to cherish your determination, as it also makes me a stronger person. Echoes grasps Kun and looks straight into his eyes with a warm sensation. Wait, huh? Now that we've settled things mostly, I hereby dismiss everyone. Oh, I almost forgot. There's one last thing I would like to ask you, Dragon King. What is it? Ever since the commotion, there has been this diamond-like object in my chest. That's probably crystalline love formed between you and Jealousy. Are you trying to flaunt your love affair? Jealousy? You mean with Jade? Impossible! King Equus, your face is bright red. The very reason for why so many heads are gathered here today, as well as the reason for why immigrants continue flooding here, is none other than the Shadow King of Jealousy himself. I believe I have already mentioned that it is impossible for you to sever yourself from the very Shadow King of the Grand Lair, which brought you prosperity. The fact that you have that within you is a testament to how good your relationship with that Shadow King is. Even so, my mate has yet to show me the contents of his chest. Huh? What do you mean by that, Ball? We're finished here. Let's head home immediately to prepare for our journey to the stronghold. This is called Decadence and Glory. The Federation of Pays Blanc and the Empire of Sidonia. Despite being located on neighboring continents, the two nations have had no diplomatic relations for a long time. Alright. The reason for this is that the Empire of Obsidonia, known for having reigned supreme in the world, had attempted invading the grasslands of Pays Blanc in ancient times. The founding of the Federation can be said to have started from its resistance it had with the Empire of Obsidonia. With that empire's might dwindling ever since the appearance of the Dark Clouds of Dust, the two nations have been stuck in a perpetual Cold War. Hey, Emperor Kafka, quit being so formal with me. I'm the one who asked to join you. I guess you have a point. Besides, isn't this a journey where I need to be hiding my identity? Seeing Emperor Kafka laugh while looking over the vastness of the grasslands make him look just like any novice adventurer, similar in age. Plus, walking with everyone like this is so refreshing, and it really feels like I've gained trustworthy friends. Especially given how I had been locked up in the palace. Well, if you really don't mind me, what kind of person is Abbot Gymnos, Kafka? Oh, him! He's a very devout priest of the Order of Glory. It wouldn't be surprising if he became a bishop. It's just that with the constant fighting over control of our royal palace, popes as well as their direct bishops are always being found dead or incarcerated. Our armed forces zero in on and purge influential members. And I fear that is what also happened to my own father. What? All of that's been happening in Obsidonia? Many are begging that our armed forces restart invasions with Admiral Gordov leading the way so that we might actually regain our glory. Anyone opposed, though, lives each day feeling small and unable to be vocal. Gymnos himself was also against restarting warfare along with the Order of Glory. Obsidonia is far too strained and wary to expand. I would truly wish to begin a reformation, but it would seem that even Gymnos was at last forced to run following a coup d'etat. I'm relieved to hear that he managed to flee to the Federation. I was unable to put an end to our armed forces' reckless power grab, which is how they ultimately gained full control. It's also because of my lack of power despite being Emperor, unable to confront the problem. And now, my dearest Helion is... Wait, is there a monster? Hold on, I need to face it too. Oh, look at the monsters, they look cool.
Phew, that's definitely the smell of a graveyard. This is definitely a sign of strong monsters.
Oh, how exciting that my next opponent is about to be a foreign yokai. Now to decide on how many pieces I'm gonna cut it up into.
Look, someone's in combat.
Huh? That's what? Oh, it's Gymnos. Hi. Who? Hold on. I don't know how to do this voice. Phew. Their numbers keep on growing by the day. Didn't think there would be so many undead midday. Oh, light of creation, illuminate the path for these lost souls. Wow, he's taking on all those tricky undead by himself. He's just using a cliched spell. That man is undoubtedly Gymnos. That can't be. Is that you, Emperor Kafka? Are the people accompanying you allies? What's this? A half-dragon fighter? We'll talk later. Alright everyone, time to give support to Abo Gymnos. The Order of Glory. Emperor Kafka, how splendid it is to see that you are safe. To think I would see you again in the Federation. Well, it's all thanks to them. I'm also very relieved to know that you're safe. These undead stumblings in from the force of death in Obsidonia just keep coming. I feel the moral duty to stay here in the Federation in order to stop them in their tracks. That is very admirable. I appreciate what you're doing. And this is here the half-dragon fighter I keep hearing about. Then that would mean the other one is Dragon King Barboros. I'll have you know. My name is Kun. Nice to meet you. The Dragon King. Impossible. It can't be. You're Lord Barboros? Gymnos is utterly astonished and hastily snaps to attention. Beads of sweat run down his forehead. Rather than displaying fear or hate towards the former enemy of the world, his expression is one of the reverence towards a figure far more elevated than any emperor. Huh? Hey, what's this all about? What are you blubbering about? It's only natural that I be revered and worshipped. My apologies if I've been disrespectful. In the teachings of Order of Glory that I am a part of, the Dragon King is a very special figure. The Dragon King is the god who created our world of El Dorado, and it is his eternity that has been hailed as our highest doctrine. We pray to his grace for everlasting prosperity. Ever since the appearance of the dark clouds of dusk, however, faith in Lord Barboros have been viewed as heresy and unorthodox. Our doctrine then went from focusing on eternity to glory. Not even I had known of this until I joined the priesthood. The Dragon King has been particularly detested in the Empire. Huh? I had no idea. I heard of a half-dragon fighter from knights who had returned from an expedition to Dragon King Isle, particularly of one who had inherited the Dragon King's power. To meet him face to face like this is just so... I ask for your guidance and that you may punish our poor people for our transgressions. Gymnos' cheeks become flushed, his eyes becoming wet with tears. As a lost one of the flock who have come home, he lets off a fervent aura completely unlike his prior awe. I think you might be feeling the effects of our dragon moss. Try not to pay too much attention to it. Gymnos, do you know what's become of Helion? Huh? Helion is being imprisoned for kidnapping the Emperor. Of course, there can be but one who could have issued your warrant in your absence. That has to be the work of Admiral Gordov. Oh my goodness. That would be correct. Any person who has in any way defiled him has been charged with conspiracy against him. By the way, I accidentally said, I should have said damn, but I completely misclicked anyway. The Imperial City is under the de facto control of Admiral Gordov. It is in a terrible state of turmoil. Even so, I wish to return home and rescue Helion. Gymnos, would you please help me in this endeavor? You can't be serious. Are you sure about that? But I am. They're all helping me. Even if you could just help us with getting across the border, that would be greatly appreciated. Of course I'll help you. It's just... I've just made it out alive from the forest. Wow. For some reason, the undead has gone from being tamed to raising hell. It's become so bad that they are managing to get past the fortress, even in bright daylight, just like they are now. They've even started to interfere with the Federation. Their might is growing ever stronger within the depths of that gloomy forest. Have you been on the defense at night too? Not that I'm not too sure of, actually, but I do know of one person who had it out for all the undead as of late. Day and night, the man roasts all the skeletons, rats and werewolves he can find to cleanse the world of them. His fighting style, though, is rather reckless. He's clearly fighting the same fight we are, but who actually is eludes me. Huh? I wonder if he's a knight of the Federation or an adventurer.
Let's ask the guy to come fight with us.
Another horde of undead can be seen advancing across the grasslands, just as the pungent smell of a graveyard attacks their noses. There's no time to rest. So they really are all heading this way. They're dead yet seem so well controlled. They are starving for magic from the living, craving for the wielder of great magic. Huh? It would seem Gymnos has realized something terrible as he tries to avert meeting Kuhn's gaze. Have you really forgotten who you are? The world's most prized catch. Yeah. Does that mean I have to be chased by zombies too? That's just awful. Take that. Who? All of a sudden, angry roaring can be heard echoing across the grassland. The vigor that can be heard in the man's voice is strong enough to cast off the ominous, stagnant atmosphere of their surroundings. It's Dine! Oh my god, I haven't seen you for a while, but yeah, it's Dine! Take that! I will not allow anything to disturb the rest of my motherland's people. I will not let your impurity defile this land. That man must be a knight. That's not Blanish armor. Wonder what nation he's from. Do you not know? The ruins here are of a small nation which perished in the distant past. Motherland. Oh my god, it's Dine! Glory to the Principality of Noah. In thy name Dine, as paladin shall pierce through your very souls as I cut you down for your insolence. The utterance of his name alone carries enough force to vaporize weaker spirits on the spot. The solemn flag of his nation can be seen embroidered with gold on his giant halberd as he swings it. The Principality of Noah! That was the small nation Obsidonia first invaded and destroyed that was on the front line. Really? I never heard of such a nation ever being a part of the Federation. This was way before the Dark Clouds of Dusk ever appeared. This occurred during the World War. I only know of this from history books. So that means these ruins are from the Principality of Noah. What's this? Could this presence be what I think it is? I sense it. I sense it indeed. Obsidonian blood of its detestable lineage of lions. Ha ha ha! To think the Emperor himself would show himself before me. I shall avenge my people at once. Brace yourself! Hey, he's totally charging for us, isn't he? Yes, he's charging us. We're going to be met with that same fury just like the undead. That knight isn't after you, Kuhn. He's after the one who holds the responsibility for the destruction of the Principality of Noah, which is me. No way! Even though it was that long ago? Little Emperor, Your slim arms won't stand a chance against such a tough opponent, huh? Well, duh! That's why I oughta zap that dude and with my lightning! Rai is stopped by Kafka right as he's about to beat his drum. Thank you, but I feel like we should wait just a little bit more. Obsidonia's heredity monarchy dictates that the Emperor inherit both the nation's honor and sins. This is a debt from a past generation, but it is one that I must resolve nonetheless. We'll first create a magic defense wall and prepare for when his assault. I must try to persuade him. Oh, what's this? You're really gonna square off with him? I might actually really like that side of you. Very well then, you're the Shogun here, little Emperor. Do as you see fit. Everyone, protect Kafka! The Dullahan of Noah. Kafka carefully casts a spell and successfully forms a defensive barrier, but Dine's charge blasts him away as if he were nothing. Neither his authority as Emperor nor the weight of the sins he must carry from his predecessors appear to matter at all. As far as the course of the battle goes... Emperor Kafka! Are you alright? I must heal you at once! It's fine. Please let go, Gymnos. How weak! Far too weak you are, Emperor of Obsidonia! I was looking forward to meeting the evil and cruel Emperor, but you're even less of a challenge than the undead over there. Dine, the highly proud paladin of Noah, please, I ask that you lower your halberd so that we may talk. The tranquility and prosperity of Noah were stolen away by the seemingly arbitrary invasion that Obsidonia has wrought. As its current emperor, I'd like to ask forgiveness. What? Ask for forgiveness? Now? You bastards! You bastards! Do you think my beloved motherland will somehow return? What about my beloved king? What will become of my vengeance? I pledge to support your motherland's recovery to the best of my ability, although I doubt that will do much to dispel your burdens. Just please. Enough! I decree that you must wander aimlessly, like one of the undead! Dine swings his halberd once more, its cold glinting tip aiming straight for Kafka. Not a single moment of hesitation could be seen in the paladin's actions, truly as if Dine was created for this very moment. Oh, this isn't good. Oh. Cut it out! This is unbearable to watch. No! Barboros unleashes a fireball straight at Dine's head, which directly hits his helmet with immense force. What? What?
Boom! Headshot!
Nice one, little ball. Guess I don't need to pitch in, huh? Whoa. My head! Where is my head? Everyone present is dumbstruck. Given what they see, it's no surprise this sight would draw all of their attentions. They thought that just Dine's helmet had been blown up by the attack, but what was left behind is a headless knight. Dine, now lacking his head, runs off, his armor clanking, in a frantic search for the lost helmet containing his head. So you really are the Dullahan of Noah. His resilient body acts as a catalyst in pinning his soul to his armor, almost crucifixion-like, forming a soldier of absolute obedience. Paladin is no more than a title. He's no different than a dwarf or a golem. He probably devises this plan in order to fight against the undead. It's no different than necromancy used to. Just please. You bastards! You dare insult me! My internal integrity! My honor as a paladin bestowed with divine, eternal power! Divine eternity? Was our religion practiced in the fallen nation of Noah? The Order of Glory is a large religion with followers all across the world. Originally, it was formed to show reverence to the Dragon King. It's no surprise that this religion was common in the Principality of Noah, which is located near Dragon King Isle. You're so annoying. If I, the Dragon King, tells you to stop, you should do as I command. What? The Dragon King? I knew I felt the presence of an immense magical force. Hey Netherman, you're resentful about something that happened eons ago.
Netherman?
How do you expect me to remember time? It's meaningless to count the years anymore. Before I knew it, I'd become one with this armor. If my body's in danger, I'm transported back to Noah. Yet, when I return home, there's no one here. I'm not even allowed a place to call home, or run away. Then you must forget the hatred you bear. Noah exists no more. Huh, taking people's head is just going too far. I would have incinerated that arrogant country eventually. You really thought that, Bal? Why am I not surprised? But of course, your face is sometimes about you that I really quite like. So how could I let them get away with taking it from you? What? What are you saying? You really are the Dragon King, the one who created the world. Gymnos could not conceal the excitement he feels as one of the Dragon King's pious disciples. It's all a bunch of nonsense. You're so obsessed with eternity that you let these meaningless days keep going on and on. What do you mean by that? I'm fully aware that you are not the Emperor of Opsidonia of my time. He would be the one who is responsible for this, in the end. I have inherited both the authority and the sins of my predecessors. I must be prepared to bear those weights in their entirety. I pardon you of said sin, in my name, for I lack a king to serve. Dullahan looks up at the ruins of what was once the capital of Noah, gleaming like fire in the afterglow of the evening sun. Please do not move just yet. It seems your bones are not broken. I'm weak. I didn't know I was so weak. I need to get stronger. Don't put yourself too hard. You are the hope of Opsidonia. We cannot afford to lose you. If you fall here, then Helion and all who have supported us will remain vengeful after passing. I know that it's not like I meant to lose. Then tell me why. You're so wise, yet you are so reckless. Dullahan stood up to me as the Emperor of Opsidonia, which I am. I realized how weak I was when I left for Dragon King Isle, though I wished to stay close to Helion. I realized how Helion had been living in a completely different world than mine, how strong he was, yet there I was merely lamenting over the world. I believe I've understood your resolution. There's hardly any defense in place at the fortress on the Opsidonian side. We ought to easily pass if we were mentioned being part of the Order of Glory. Our problems will come later. That is, if we are to really infiltrate the Imperial City, where Admiral Gordov will be waiting for us once we've driven off the undead. What should I do now? Well, if you'd like, you can help us get through the Forest of Death. What's that? An invitation to join a holy crusade against evil? I guess that's how a paladin would put it. I'm just needing us to get through the forest, though. It'll be reassuring to have you in our midst. Well, you really think so? Do you? How could I not go when I'm told so by the very man who inherited the divine dragon power? That the undead are pure evil is self-evident. They are not of this world. Now's the time to vanquish their leader, who dwells in the Forest of Death. You have a point. I'm sure that'll happen from getting past the forest. It would seem that you, in particular, have yet to mature in the art of war, unlike the Dragon King. Kinda shocking that you'd say that, but I'd say that because I was just your run-of-the-mill adventuring fighter until very recently. There are also packs of werewolves and swarms of vampires which lure within the Forest of Death, aside from the spirits of the dead. They're of a completely different caliber of monster than your typical opponent. What's more, they keep on resorting to the most despicable and disgraceful tricks to trap you. Don't tell me you're getting excited. I am not. What would you say to having a paladin, such as I, accompanying you in your training? It may be for just a limited time, but I'm sure you'll gain a considerable amount of resistance. Hey now, stop it. There is nothing to be learned by Netherman here. He's only capable of thinking with his lower half. Cease calling me Netherman. I only lost my head. We'll just decline Dine's offer for now. Hey, what are you vacillating so? Hey, why are you vacillating so? Do you not have any admiration for us paladins? I do think that paladins are cool and all, but... Because we are! But I'm pretty tired from today's fighting, and I really need to get ready for tomorrow. Tch, how weak of you! Hey, no need to go that far. Just save the day when the going gets tough. Of course I will. I couldn't bear to see you in such peril. Dine stops himself from saying too much, realizing how his indomitable paladin body was trembling from the thought he just had. If you were to be in such peril... Dine, you really are getting excited, aren't you? I am not! Alright, so what happens if we learn from the paladin? Ha 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 ha! What a great response! That being said, I'll be borrowing your fighter for a while. Hear that, Dragon King? Hey, wait! Where are we? What is this place? Ball! Surprised? Time waits for no one. Let's get going with your training at once. That is the single answer in this single point in time and space. I've arrived at here to train myself, the paladin which I am. How about it? You'll be brimming with sanctified fighting spirit. Yeah, I guess. Surrounding them is a cold bare wall of marble, and on the floor a sturdy yet uncomfortable looking chair with weights lined up. This is a whole room. What are you talking about? This reality marble serves the sole purpose of physical discipline of a paladin whose homeland was destroyed. Alright, let us commence training. Beneath the dazzling silver armor he flings off the perfectly proportioned male form, a monstrosity of which this world has never seen. Evil will always strike on a whim's notice. Training is best done when it's peaceful like now. And I think we will be done here. Oh, actually that's not bad. Should I take a picture of the scene? Actually, I'll see the options. Dine gets down on a rectangular mat on the floor and starts doing push-ups. Though only simple repetition, his form is perfect. Every muscle in his arms, chest, and shoulders puff up, instantly pumping out heat. His whole figure exemplifies just how worthy he is to be a paladin, unwavering despite his homeland being decimated. It doesn't take long at all for their confined space enclosed by stone and mirrors to bear signs of his immense masculine heat. This very much is the perfect field designed for concentrating on training. Although training isn't so bad in regular grassy turf below a blue sky, smelling all earthy either. What are you staring at? This is our warm-up. Plus, the training is for you! Huh? Oh yeah, I guess that was it? Come on now, take off your armaments. One last defense and final weapon is the body. Wait, I really have to strip down? No need to hesitate. Have you forgotten? This space was designed solely to concentrate on physical discipline. Yes, sir. It's all off now. Succumbing to Dine's intimidation, Kun is at last stark naked. Bro, you didn't have to. He was literally wearing clothes. What are you talking about? Why did he strip down? All the way. If this is what training is all about, it's certainly a fresh take. Alrighty, lie face down here. Kun lies down on the sweat-covered mat as directed by Dine. Am I doing push-ups? If it's just that, even I can manage. Listen now, everything, even the basics, is of equal importance. Heard. To the left and right of Kun, while remaining face down, are Dine's massive palms inside a pair of gloves. Renowned for his spearing prowess, his arms are tough as iron all the way down to his fingertips. Dine's body is twice as large as Kun's, truly a monstrosity. His ancient fighting spirit had been selected as a vessel to quell evil, and that fierce training has been continued up until the present. 1, 2, 3. And what's this? Dine resumes his push-ups with Kun remaining face down. The musky, humid, manly heat exuding from such a body, whose metabolism must also be perfect, quickly makes it way onto Kun's bare skin. Sweat unabashedly pops down from Dan's body, his piping hard as can be as it hits the floor. I don't really have a good view. So, will doing push-ups with you be fine? Alrighty, time to plunge in! This is On the Road with Good Company. Good morning, everyone. What a fine morning it is! This is the perfect day for a holy crusade. The perfect day to die, in fact. Aren't you already dead? Alright now, let's assail the enemy with all our forces combined. We must vanquish evil. Well, I'd rather we not attack if all at possible today. I'm asking that everyone hide inside the cargo, so that we're able to pass through the border fortress. Wow, look at all the wagons. The gang are gathered at the ruins of Noah. There, Gymnos has procured 4 covered wagons. The drivers are adorned in vestments of the Order of Glory, being disguised as disciples of the Faith. As you can see, I think it's possible to hide inside the hay and luggage. Although it may seem like a lot of wagons, it's actually not rare for this many caravans belonging to the Order of Glory to pass by. The Federation of Pace Blanc is not the only nation which is in a state of cold war with the Empire of Obsidonia. Given how difficult everyday commodities has become to procure, smuggling them in via the comings and goings of the Order has become commonplace. Thank you, Gymnos. Your splendid execution is truly life-saving. I try reasoning with the soldiers at the fortress as best as I can. As for whether we'd even be able to get through the forest of death by wagon, I'm not so sure. At which point, we'll have to part with the wagons to ensure the safety of the drivers I've hired, as we must prioritize their safety. Now, if I could please have everyone get on and stay as quiet as possible until we've gotten past the fortress. We'll have to ride separately since the wagons are too narrow. Now, which wagon should I choose? Alright, so, actually, I've already rid Kafka's one in my first save, but we'll be going through them all one by one, so yeah. You know what, I kinda wanna go for Kafka. I don't wanna do Dine. The Yamato's gang too noisy, and I feel so bad for Amory, but she's gonna be fine. Why don't you ride with me? The wagon might be small, but I think the 2 of us can fit. Goodness me, it's gonna be a scene, isn't it? Through the carrying cap of the wagon, Kafka beckoned. Kun was too small. It appeared he wished for the 2 of them to be together nonetheless. And I'd feel reassured if you were with me, Kun. Oh goodness. It appears that we're on the move now. Before you transformed into your current state, were you really just an ordinary adventurer? Oh yeah, I was a typical tank fighter. What made you want to become an adventurer? You know what? To be honest, I don't think I really thought much of it. My older brother was an influence, despite there not being an actual blood connection. Wait, what? My older brother was an influence, despite there not being an actual blood connection. Wait, you're not related? So you're not related, but he's your brother. Okay, I guess he's a... Are you adopted? So you're adopted. Who are your parents? My goodness. Just one day, he mentioned how we should go clear the sky of the dark clouds of dusk and things just happen. My father was very strict about living in a way that's best for the world. So those were the sort of things affecting me. At first, I really wasn't into it. Or should I say, up until the end. The end? Oh well, you see, we had just made it to that decisive battle against Barbaros. Oh well, you see, we had just made it to that decisive battle against Barbaros, and then my brother had to open up with me about how we wanted to marry we? You mean he? Oh my goodness, that is such a... The translators have to be very careful. Wait, no, that's such a huge change in the context. Oh my god, you have to be careful in your dialogue. I thought that if my brother lived happily ever after, that I'd end up being all by myself and lonely. And with that, my own lack of seriousness till the final battle ended up putting my brother in danger. Man, I'm just glad he's alive still. Anyway, when I sacrificed myself to defeat Barbaros, I partook of his blood and ended up like this. How was that even possible? It's strange, huh? Barbaros keeps telling me to become a full-fledged dragon. So you're not going to? Not gonna lie, I saw his dragon form and it kinda looks... You know what? I'm curious if I say I might. If it were me... Wait, no, this is a problem only you have to face. Your decision ought to be respected. I appreciate you saying that. We do share some similarities. Even so, the power of the Dragon King is such an immense magical power. Just being near it alone makes me... In the cramped space of the covered wagon, Kuhn's finger overlapped with Kafka's. Though this incidental touch was through gloves, the strong impact it made to them caused both to blush and cross-gaze. I'm so sorry, I think your dragon must is getting to me. Hopefully he'll arrive soon. Since harboring dragon blood in his body, Kuhn's drive to breed has had zero restraint. No, why don't we just stay like this? Kafka, I'm almost envious of how easy it is for you to get so familiar with anyone. The only friend or lover I've ever known is Helion. I've always believed that inheriting the throne and the decaying of the royal palace was my destiny. Likewise, I made my reuniting with Helion my destiny despite how he bemoans irrationally. Which is all the more why I saw him as my lover, perhaps flaunting my authority as king served as his shackles. Did Helion ever truly move me so in this manner? This gives me all the more reason to save him. I'm the one who is constantly being protected. No matter if I have to overcome the boundaries of servant versus master and destiny itself to make it happen. It seems we've arrived. Thank you, Kuhn. I'm glad we were able to talk. Then the swaying of the wagon comes to a stop. The gang have seemingly made it to Obsidonia. Yeah, I didn't know there was a lot of choices. So yeah. So let's just start with Amory's.
Sir husband, over here! Look how fluffy this bed of hay is!
This cage is too damn cramped. I'd rather charge the fortress head first than ride on this. Hey, hold on right there. That caused a war with the Empire. Hey, we're already on the move. Barbaros gets inside the wagon blanketed with hay, about sulking as he got inside. It sure is cramped in here though. Someone's gotta hold on to someone inside the hay. Let's hold Amory.
Well, sir husband, you really want to hold me?
Ignoring Barbaros' pouting, Kuhn ensnares Amory's entire body and begins to stroke and tickle him all over his heart's content.
Eek, that tickles!
It's time for this endearing servant to make this uncomfortable and dreadful wagon journey worth the venture. Kuhn's handling of their kobold servant grows fiercer as his stiff laughter stimulates a more sadistic side of him. Amory's bandana and jacket quickly gets thrown off to the side without hesitation. What? How? Why?
Any more of this and I'll...
Though all Kuhn initially intended to do was stroke Amory's fluffy, innocent, vulnerable underbelly, the sheer intensity of Kuhn's touch causes him to look back at him, his glossy eyes strained with tears.
Sir husband, you always smell so great. Please, hold me even tighter. I beg you. Whoa, this is so thrilling.
Amory's petite body is being constricted tightly all the while still being enveloped in a sea of hay. On the other side of that fluffy chest fur of his is just as a tiny heartbeat pounding so loudly, its pulses are reverberating through all the veins in his body.
I'm telling you, any more of this and I'll... Oh my gosh, Amory, no! You're just... I'm telling you, any more of this and I'll really Really? Sir husband, you gotta be close to doing so, aren't you? You are, aren't you?
Amory laughs coquettously as he traces his fingers down to, oh my goodness, where he grabs a hold. Yeah, he grabs a hold. There's no hiding anything around Amory. Clune clearly is sporting quite the mountain, revealing it to all when Amory pulls down his undergarments.
You wanna give me a little kiss, huh?
Okay, I'm not doing those lines. The clamorous rocking of the wagon drowns out the boisterous passion between these two small animals. To where is this cramped, dreadful journey taking them? What the hell are you two doing?
Eek! Yikes!
What the hell's with you emanating all this magic? We're gonna be there soon. Then, the swaying of the wagon comes to a stop. The gang has seemingly made it to Obsidonia. Alright, let's head to Dine's one. Actually, no. We'll continue with Amory's, but then go for Barboros's route. The Kafka one that I'm gonna show will actually be the old recording. Oh my goodness, it'll be actually the old recording of chapter 2, the very first time. So I've read Tyrannodos, so yeah. Alright, so what happens if we hold Barboros? Huh? It'll be too stifling inside. Despite Barboros's disgruntled demeanor, Kun pays no mind to this as he grabs a hold of him as they sink into the sea of hay. It's so hot with no space at all. I would have rather had you huddled down in some corner with a rat. Rat, of course, is in reference to Amory, who is always subjected to the harsh life of being Barboros's servant. This sort of environment, though, appears to be just right for someone who has been a servant as long as he can already be heard peacefully snoring amidst the sea of hay. Oh, this is what you were getting at. The covered wagon is terribly uncomfortable with its wild shaking, but on the contrary, little Barboros appears to be oddly comfortable being held. On top of this, his supreme dragon pheromones are so potent that even for a half-dragon like Kun, the aroma is truly disorienting. Huh. What's with the rush to bond? Leave it to my mate to be bad at being patient. Barboros's tiny hands start to fondle Kun's... Yes. Kun's breathing instinctively becomes labored and heated from the sudden yet masterful hand jobs one would never expect from Barboros's still tiny hands. My throat is actually quite parched. No, please! Still head in Kun's grasp, Barboros lets out a sleazy laugh before snatching Kun's lips. With it being the mischievous Dragon King that he's holding, this was inevitable from the start. Oh no. Ugh. Suddenly, Barboros's body transformed with his magic now replenished. With the wagon being so cramped, several piles of rubbish fall on top of them upon being knocked down by Barboros's enlarged body.
Sir Barboros, Sir husband, it's far too cramped in here now.
Shut up! I'm not the one at fault. Kun is the one who wanted to copulate here of all places.
Shh! The wagon just stopped. We need to stay quiet.
Then, the swaying of the wagon comes to a stop. The gang has seemingly made it to Obsidonia. Alright, so let us see what happens when we choose Dine. We shall purge the forest of death of its disgraceful gangs. This much is certain. Hey now, we're all a team on this mission. We'll need you to be on good behavior here. Now get on here, won't you? Hey, what are you doing? The back of the wagon is filled with hay and rubbish. Dine's large body couldn't possibly be hidden by hay alone, but disguising him as old armor was not infeasible. Alright, we're heading out now. We can't be the only ones who get there late. Huh. Kunsamo gets Dine to lie down despite how animated he was. The violent rocking of the wagon has left Dine in a panicked state. Dragon Warrior, don't you get stirred up before a battle? I suppose so. I guess there is some connection between you and the undead of the Forest of Death that you have to settle. Correct! I've gone on countless expeditions into the Forest of Death. Each time, I've come back having fought against them. Whether it was out of anger or a sense of justice, that much wasn't clear, but Dine was clearly furious upon uttering the names of the two individuals who were presumably his opponents. Kuhn was certain that this was going to turn into a long-winded story. The chiefs of the undead, Vampire Rotarth and Werewolf Urgaru. Be very cautious of them. They mustn't be tolerated. The moment I find them, I intend to purge them. In recent years, Rotarth has especially become ghastly. He may feign to be a meek elder, but don't be deceived. In past eras, he was known for being a heinous vampire who would suck the blood out of live virgin girls. Lately, he's changed his taste, craving for male bodies, a perverted gent enchanted by robust, sturdy flesh. One day, I was given an invitation by Rotarth to possibly reconcile. I hoped that it would be an opportunity to bury everything into the past if he'd just listened to what I had to say, but instead, what awaited me was a despicable trap in which he did all sorts of horrible things to my precious paladin body. Tell me you aren't hard. I am not! Next there's Rogaru, that perverse bastard. He has absolutely no discipline whatsoever. All I can say is be especially cautious of werewolves on night, when there is a full moon. There hasn't been any for so long thanks to the dark clouds of dust blocking out the moon, but now, werewolves have increased in number as of late, and the only reason there can be for this is he's still biting them. This is proof that he is far from dead. Alright now, this will reflect back on my days of pure devotion to my majesty. At a time in which I was aiming to put an end to werewolves once and for all, right as they were in their final days. From behind me, one of his servants attacks me from the shadows of the rocks. I get it, stay cautious. Werewolves are known for being cunning and traveling in packs, right? The numbers of which are not just a mere 5 or 6. Just remembering makes my rear ache. Making a mockery of the code of chivalry by striking in such large packs. One of these days, I'll teach them the proper etiquette of fighting. Regard took off with my head while I was captured and let my noble flesh get devoured by countless werewolves. I have even surrendered, yet there he was laughing at me, as if that were no concern to him. Ever since that fateful day, my pure heart has become, how can I say this, attuned to throngs of... You do have a huge bone, Dine. I knew it! Dine's rod is full mass beneath his clothing, staining his pure white paladin garb with his Shut up! Whoa! Dine suddenly rises up and casts his armor aside without an even second of hesitation. Stark naked, his paladin tier javelin proudly soars so high up, one could envision a flag waving unabashedly on such a monstrosity thick beam. Heroic sagas always ignite the blood of a true warrior, you hear? The same must be same for you, dragon warrior. Wait, huh? Those were heroic sagas? Behold, my seething javelin, ye shall show me yours. If I do not shed myself of these lavish thoughts, I won't be able to concentrate in the battle ahead. What the hell are you doing, Dine? Calm down. It was impossible to ignore what was unfolding on this cramped wagon, the gloomy space the two share now steaming from the raunchy heat now locked inside. And I'm not saying that. Lick it for me, won't you? Just a tip. No. Huh? Kuhn! Huh? Okay. Just as Kuhn is wavering on whether to keep up with the pace set by Dine. Ugh. Just then, a chilling draft, distinctive from the force of death, floods their space, but not even that air could cool off Dine in this state. I'm sure you've made it to the fortress. Hurry and get your armor on. You're so sweaty. Impossible. I've yet to climax. Are you telling me to head out into the battle while holding on such bad energy? You're damn right. Then, the swaying of the wagon comes to a stop. The gang has seemingly made it to Obsidonia. What the hell? Alright, so let us head to the Yamato gang. Sir Kun, would you like to come along with us? Fu! It would not be an exaggeration to say that the wagon given to the Yamato gang is already cramped past capacity. As the saying goes, no road is long with good company. This could serve as an opportunity to deepen friendships, which itself isn't a terrible thing. Oh my gosh, the smell is something else! Right as Kun immediately tries heading to another wagon, Fu and Rai grab a hold of his cloak and stop him in his tracks. Hey, you ain't running anywhere. Share the struggle with us. Alright, we're heading off. My word, Lord Jinosuke, you'll no doubt be told the same by Sir Kun. This stench ought to be a good matchup with that of the undead. Huh? You're talking about me? No sense in acting all innocent. Man, if only a draft of fresh air could save the day. What's the big deal anyway? The SS Yamato has already set sail. Ugh, why does this always happen? We sure are cramped in here though. If someone's gotta hold on to someone to make room. Everyone's eyes inevitably falls on Fu, given how petite he is. Everyone would naturally want to secure his own space on the bed of such a cramped and uncomfortable wagon as it violently shook. What, bro, Lord Jinosuke, get a hold of yourself. What the heck, little bro? Since when did you become rebellious? Alright, then how about I, carry someone? I have to choose between, oh my goodness, there's more choices, golly! Let's go for Jinosuke since that's the first option. Come on, come over here, boy. Ain't you so cute? Jinosuke gives Kun no room to waver as he forcibly draws him on inward. Oh no, my condolences, Sir Kun. Kun, sorry man. Take one for the team for just a little bit. Fu and Rai hide themselves under a linen and spend their time inside the hay. Such dirty mouths towards your lord. In comparison, you're quite laudable, Kun, making sure I don't get lonely. I ain't letting go now. Jinosuke binds Kun in his arms, his chest fully exposed out of his kimono. How is this? You'll get used to the smell before long. Jinosuke's skillful fingers begin tickling the sides of Kun's torso to the point of causing breathing to become strenuous. The harsh smells of sweat and dirty fills Kun's airways and start to forcibly stimulate him. Alrighty now, just come on and get comfy with me. Huh? What's this? Jinosuke's greedy fingers have made their way to Kun. There are hardened masculine swords concealed, its sticky tears making the area wet. Ho ho! Looks like you're just as peculiar as Rasho. Alright, no need to say anything. Jinosuke whispers there in Kun's ear as he eludes Fu and Rai's line of sight. Jinosuke is in a triumphant spirit as he senses victory in having completely seen through Kun's ulterior thoughts. People say they hate what they actually love, and I know what you really love is this, huh? Boy, prepare yourself. Jinosuke's muscles constrict Kun's neck mercilessly. Our destination is still a ways ahead. You know what? We can stay just like this. Kun is at the verge of ascending to the other realm if the hellish tickling and horrendous smell watering his eyes don't stop. Ugh, keep quiet, boy. Even as he says this, Jinosuke does not let down its attack, proving that the Shogun of Yamato doesn't just do things for show. Then, the swaying of the wagon comes to a stop. The gang has seemingly made it to Obsidonia. Alright, so let's see what happens if we choose Fu. Huh? Me? Well, if you insist, Sir Kun, then there isn't any reason for me to decline. Alright then, if you don't mind. Fu timidly lands soft atop Kun's lap, his body remarkably light. So this is what a dragon arm feels like. Heh, it's so warm. Relaxing his own waist into the warm embrace provided by Kun's dragon arm, Fu becomes comfortable. Enough to wrap his fingers together with Kun's flirtatiously. I feel something pressing against, my butt. Putting aside Fu's reaction, Kun holds on him, grows stronger and tighter, clearly intentional. Huh? What about me do you even like? I'm sure my bro or Lord Janosuke would be better. There's two options. I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry. You're fine just the way you are, Fu. Enough already. You could tell that to anyone. Wait, no. Continue teasing him. Sorry, that's wrong. That's wrong. Hey, cut it out already. Please stop teasing me so bad. Kun, who's already warmed up, swiftly removes Fu's jacket off him. Oh my goodness. Kun presses his nose into Fu's back, feeling every beat of his heart through his sweaty garment. With each deep breath made by Kun as he tightly holds Fu's petite body, Fu in turn gradually calms down and matches his breathing with Kun. You know, this doesn't feel bad. It's just that, I'm not used to be treated so gently. I myself am just a typical Yamato yokai. Just being in the presence of your immense magic makes me all dizzy. Hey, where do you think you're touching? Your dragon arm does feel really good, but still. Wait, it seems you've arrived at the fortress. We need to keep quiet, okay? Then, the swaying of the wagon comes to a stop. The gang has seemingly made it to Obsidonia. Alright, let's see the final option and hopefully the final choice. So yeah. Huh? Me? Hell yeah! Come on over! Rai calls Kun over with his arms outstretched, as if he was waiting for him to be in his lap. Hey guys, this is a covert operation. Try not to get too rowdy, please. What's that I hear? Are you jealous? I am not jealous. Fu throws a handful of dry hay at Rai, which scatters everywhere on Rai's wheat-colored skin. Okay. Kun, thanks for nominating me. Kun bashfully sits down on Rai's lap, all the while he beats his tights in anticipation. It's sure cramped in here, but this is the best. Rai removes Kun's cloak and takes in a deep breath of his sweaty body, with his nose pressed tightly against him. Both his lungs and heart are becoming full with dragon musk. Wow, such an amazing smell. This is amazing. But I gotta ask, why did you choose my lap? Rai asks as he licks his tongue down the nape of Kun's neck. It was as if Rai was trying to say their coming together so tightly amidst the pile of hay was an act of the gods. Dang, you're not gonna tell me. That makes me sad. And here I am, all packed and ready. As Kun tries holding back sounds flirtatious, Rai's hands movement becomes braver, exposing his true lustful desire. Rai's fingertips are already soaking from the desire being coaxed out from Kun's crotch. Do my fingers feel good? Though Kun is wishing that Fu and Jinosuke don't notice, he inevitably nods in agreement. Huh? I can't hear you. At that moment, a lightning jab breaks through, aiming straight for the one part of Kun has become the most acute to feeling. Despite Rai keeps his lightning in check as Thunder Wielder, he is overwhelmed by a climactic charge that almost makes him shout out inadvertently. Sorry, my body conducts electricity, so sometimes I might let out a shock when I'm so snug to someone. When are we getting there? I'm so bored. Wait, that was a lie just now. We can just be like this. For the whole trip, you know. I'm sure this is how you'd want too, huh, Kun? Don't worry. I can do it on the spot. Right as Rai's about to take off Kun's undergarments in the sea of hay. Wait, we're already there? Then the swaying of the wagon comes to a stop. The gang has seemingly made it to Obsidonia. Alright. Anyways, I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching this episode of another Eidos of Dragon Vein R. That's right. This is actually really long, I know. And yeah, it's actually a really long episode. So tomorrow might be I might have to move some dates so that I can accommodate another Eidos. But yeah, so anyways, I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching, and I'll see y'all whenever. Bye bye!